Happy Friday night, Sooner Nation. Welcome back to the Sooner Surge, the podcast that tells it like it is. And right now, as a Sooner football fan, it's awful is what it is. The debacle continued today, but guess what? The debacle's over. As we know it, the 2024 season has come to an end. Thank goodness. And now the attention turns to 2025 football. Meantime, you got basketball programs doing great. Softball can be great again. Baseball looks to be up, but the football program is not. Welcome to the Sooner Surge, the nightly 9:30 live show. Yep, Devon Sears has entered the portal. A little bit, I think, of a shock, but where he was on the depth chart, I don't think he felt like he was going to play any. But yeah, what's up, Jay?
What's up, man? Hey, real quick, I want to ask a question real quick to everybody in the chats already. Let's just get it rolling. Over or under 7 players in the portal after today? So the portal closes the 28th, which is right around the corner. How many? But you'll see names after that because it doesn't. You can put your name in the portal on the 28th and it won't show up till the 29th or 30th. Over or under 7, Germ? So you get 5 days too because of the bowl game. Over under. Coconut Greg says under. Sooner Cowboy
under,
over.
As far as meaningful, as far as meaningful guys, it's going to be under that. That's what I would say. Meaningful guys that actually are going to play. So, hey, and I got to
wait. So is Devon Sears not count? Is that what you're saying?
He counts. I think he's meaningful. He could have been a backup guy. He was this year. Johnson, I'm going to read this once, and that's it. I don't give an absolute rip that you're reading that more people. Where are you reading at? I don't really care. That is an asinine take that Stutzman and Billy Bowman quit on OU. Just ridiculous. Let's get right to it. And Miguel wants me to say BB is a clown. I'm not going to say BB's a clown. Is it bad in Norman? Yeah. Is it his fault? Yep. He's the head guy. And of course you hear him take the blame today, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he takes the blame. Something's got to change.
Yeah, and I see the stuff about Monty says number one truth in football: bad teams find ways to lose. That's been Oklahoma guys under Brent Venables. They haven't been a good team, and they find different ways to lose every single week. Today, you get up 14-0 and are just purely dominating, and you turn around, you're down 21-14. It was bad. It was not good. The season's over though. But now here's what you got to ask yourself as Sooner fans. Okay, because this, Jerm, we say it all the time. This is a channel for the fans, right? So the fans, we'll let the fans say what they want to say. What are fans' opinions going into next year? I know you got a totally different
knows
offense.
What the opinions are. It's not going to be good, Jay.
Well, I think there's people out there that think with Arbuckle and Mateer, I think the offense will be better, Jerm, but I don't know if that's going to equate wins. That's my only issue.
I do like what I saw in Washington State tonight, how they get the ball out quickly. Hey, Ron, first off, he did take blame. If you listen to the post-game presser, he took blame. Second of all, if the bowl games don't matter, stop saying Stutzman and Bowman quit on the team. It's ridiculous. You know, I'm fine with people getting on here. I am absolutely fine with people getting on here and saying this program's in shambles. Yep, they are. I'm fine with people saying BV's got to go. Yep, something's got to be done. I am not okay with people calling people names or saying people are quitters because they didn't play in the Armed Forces Bowl. Please. And I don't care where it was read, who said it. Don't say I'm wrong with that because that's a bad take. I'm sorry, that's a bad take. Billy Bowman and Danny Stutzman did not quit on this team. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'll calm down, Johnson. Just chill out with the comments, man. On that. OU is a dead program. This coming from Bevo's bodyguard. Yep. Probably about as dead as Texas was under Charlie Strong. And guess what? Guess what, Bevo? Texas got it done, didn't they?
And guys, if they don't turn it around next year, which a lot of people think they won't, I mean, then what a lot of people wanted to happen this year with Brent Venables will happen next year. He's going to have a really good season to survive. 9 wins, 8 wins. I mean, he's going to have a really good season.
And Monty, I can't tell you why Gavin Sawchuk got as many carries and that Xavier Robinson didn't. I don't know why. There's a lot of things I can't explain on any of it. It's mind boggling. As I said in the post game instant reaction, it is.
It is, Germ. And I think one thing we got to talk about too is the Devon Mitchell stuff. And Germ, you've been kind of carrying the banner for Devon Mitchell for a while, okay? And part of the reason, guys, the Devon Mitchell stuff's been out there about he should play. One, the tight ends have not been performing that well on this team. Okay, that's a fact. Helms and Mitchell have not played much, and both of them, I think, should have got an opportunity. We've all talked about it. The other thing, the Mitchell stuff could have been fixed weeks ago if they would have just came out and said he's not playing this year. But instead, you heard all the time, he's looking really good. He's being devastating blocker. It all led you to think he might play some. When in all reality, they weren't going to play him because of other stuff that he has to mature in. And Devon Mitchell today on Twitter said, it's my fault. I have not done what I needed to do. But to me, they could have cleared all that up weeks ago. Could they not have?
Yeah, and Jay, this is what we've talked about on here for weeks. The lack of communication and transparency in some areas is what's causing people to speculate on things, whether it was injuries, playing time. So that as soon as the game's over, Devon Mitchell puts this tweet out and says, it's nothing. It's not the coach's decision. It's I screwed up. I was inconsistent. Very interesting.
Well, BV alluded to that earlier this year, Jerm. But then you kind of heard some things later that he's progressing and he might. So I don't know. And I guess maybe as fans, it's not our job to know if guys are going to play or not. But it does lead to a lot of talk out there amongst fans. It just does. That's what it leads to. So, and maybe grades. I don't know, Bomb. I don't know. There was some stuff probably personally, maybe either showing up on time. I don't know what it is. I don't want to make assumptions or anything like that. But hey, there's a quote though from Brent Venables. Germ, you probably know this quote. He says it a lot. Go ahead and guess what I'm going to say. What does BV say a lot?
I tune it out mostly, Jay. Go ahead.
Well, he says this a lot. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
Well, two of the 3 years under Brent Venables, they've been 6 and 7. So they're either coaching it bad or they're allowing it to happen. Either way, it's a coaching problem. You got to get it fixed. And Brent Venables knows more than anybody. You aren't gonna survive at Oklahoma with 6 and 7 seasons. He's had 2 out of the first 3 years 6 and 7. Things have to get better.
Yeah. And Jay, I just don't know how much they are. The addition of Arbuckle, it was interesting what Michael Hawkins said after the game, Jay. He said we need a guy in the quarter. We need a dude in the quarterback room, and John Mateer is a dude.
And Ron, I did not use those words against Brent Venables. I said what he says, okay? And he knows it's not good right now. He's not dumb. But until they get it fixed, and to me, that's my thing. Until I see them as a total football unit under Brent Venables get it done, it's hard for me to sit here and say they're going to go win 9 games next year. It's just hard for me.
Hey, the 2 names that Ron H just mentioned, I'm 100% on board with. Joe John Finley to Marco Murray. Like, Jay, you mentioned earlier 7, and I said under 7 as far as portal guys, meaningful guys. What about coaches? Under 2 or over 2?
That
can't take the push. Under
Germ, right now, December 27th, I don't think they're losing 1 coach.
I think they'll lose 1. And hey,
I don't, Germ. I don't.
Okay, I do. And
who's getting rid of him, Germ? Who's going to do it?
I think BV. They're going to have to, Jay.
Then why didn't they already do it, Jeremy?
I don't know, Jay. I don't know why. I'm not the coach. And Chester, since 2018, Bill Bedenbaugh's recruiting is bad. Well, last year it was phenomenal, and then he got Fasusi and Foji this year. So I guess he's gotten better at recruiting and worse at coaching. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, Germ, I got a question for you. I'm going to go back to let me ask you a question like I used to say. You're the head coach of Oklahoma right now. Put it in your position, okay? You're that guy.
Okay.
Give me one. I want one reason, one only, Jeremy, of why if you were going to get rid of Joe John Finley, you waited. Tell me one good reason. You
And
missed the
fans thought,
wait, listen. You missed the recruiting cycle. You missed the portal. Why would you wait till now? Well, why wouldn't you have already done it?
fans thought put one in there that could make sense, but it doesn't because Bill Bedenbaugh could have called plays.
Jeremy, it doesn't make sense. They're not getting rid of him. He's back next year at tight end coach.
And Ron says the same thing as fans thought. They had no one else to call the plays. I mean, they easily could have had Bill Bedenbaugh do it. Probably. I mean, calling plays.
Call plays. They could have. Arbuckle probably could have done it without even being there.
There's no chance he would have done it.
Jeremy,
I wouldn't call plays in this offense.
Jeremy, it wasn't today. It was mainly run, QB draw, run, QB draw. I mean, there wasn't much to it.
That's what it was when it was working. And then they went away from that. Scapegoat is the reason, is what Sooner for Life says.
There's no telling.
There is no telling, Jay. We got Okie Lawn guy back. Haven't seen him in a while. Look, a debacle, a travesty, an embarrassment. They threw it 43 times, Jay. They didn't sit there and run the ball. That's what I'm saying.
I guess they did. You're right.
They thought
You're
Michael
right.
Hawkins with no receivers. What was Baker Mayfield?
Hey, let me say something about Hawkins too. You ready?
I don't know what they were doing on offense.
Hey, let me say something on Hawkins. Let's talk about Hawkins for a second, okay? I think Hawkins could be really good. I think Hawkins has a lot of talent as far as scramble ability, throwing on the run. I think Hawkins needs some development on making the passes that quarterbacks should be able to make with no problem. I think in the pocket passing, there's a lot of things he can develop on. If he sits a year, it could really help his game. It really could. I mean, and I know he had dropped passes today, but there's times that the simple throws sometimes should be just automatic. Now, what he can do is when the play breaks down, he can be really good. He's really good at running the ball. There's a lot of things he does really good. But I don't think it's fair to Michael Hawkins. Nobody saw Kyler Murray play as a freshman.
No. And
Did we?
No. And I agree with Okie Long guy. He hesitates too much. Hey, Danny, what did you tell everyone in here? Because I'm just going to say this once, and this, Hunter, I'm not going to address it anymore. Danny, I'm just curious. When you were wrong on things, you refused to show up the next day on the lives. You just hid. You didn't show up. Now you're saying you told everyone this, that we all begged for this. I don't know what you're wanting, man. Like, seriously. It's laughable at this point. Laughable, which is what OU was today. Hey, yeah, Bill Bedenbaugh or Emmett Jones could have called the play, so I don't know. But, hey, I'm not going to say it, Jay. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm going to answer this, Danny.
I haven't even played yet.
Danny, I'm going to answer something for you. But Kieran Arbuckle, what do they have to do with this year's team, buddy? Nothing. You can't say that yet because you don't know. Now, will it save the whole team? No. They got other things they got to fix, Danny. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. I mean, Hawkins is going to be hopefully redshirted next year. Hopefully they redshirt him, and in my opinion, and I go to Greg got said something about FCS receivers. Listen, I guarantee you the guys they bring in are probably better than Zion Reagan. So this offense cannot be worse next year. Okay.
Hey, I got to ask something in the chat here for everybody. Give me and you cannot use a coach. You cannot use coaching. Give me your two biggest concerns going into next year. I know it's one day after the day of the game, but two biggest concerns that they have to fix dramatically before next year. Two biggest concerns. What would they be in your opinion? Jeremy, what do you think?
Well, offense.
Hunter says O-line and receiver.
I just say offense in general. I mean, to me, offense is one of the main ones. Hey, I got to show something for Johnson. Hey, Jay was wrong.
I've been wrong a lot, Jeremy.
I can't find my sign. The one that
you
I
threw
said
it away.
I was wrong. Guess
Jeremy,
what?
you threw
We
it
were
away.
both wrong. We were both wrong.
Jeremy, your
Hey,
eye was
Johnson.
wrong.
Wait, Jay, real quick. Johnson, you were wrong after the Bama game when you got on here and said, well, I was wrong about BV. I was wrong about BV. Well, guess what? We're always wrong. People are wrong. We're human beings.
Hey, Germ, I know where your "I was wrong" sign went. Your wife's got it. She's holding it for you for when you go.
Probably. Hey, and let's get to this. Assuming there's not massive exits, and I don't think there's going to be massive exits out of the portal. I don't think there's going to be massive exits out of the portal. Okay, I think they're going to lose some guys, but I don't know if it's going to be meaningful guys in the I guess long term here.
Hey, and real quick, I saw a comment. Stop panicking. Nobody's panicking. This is a fan show. We react to the games. That's all this is, guys. It's not panic. I'm not. I promise you right now, I'm not sitting here worried to death about what's going on. Hey, I'm a fan, but I'm not panicking. I'm talking about it. Yes.
Look, Danny said Xavier Robinson transferring. Highly doubt that. He grew up around Oklahoma, right in the backyard. But how good can the defense be next year is what Fanstop's asking. I mean, I think linebackers weren't great today. I didn't think. Back end wasn't very good today in some ways, but overall the defense was. Again, I'm just going to say this. Defense is not the concern for me. Just isn't. Just isn't. So I've been wrong about a whole lot of things, Jay. Am I panicking for OU football? I wouldn't even say I panic for OU football. I mean, like, it's just, to me.
Hey, I'm a massive fan, Germ. I love to watch Oklahoma Sooners. I do. And I get frustrated when they go 6-7. Oklahoma should not be a program going 6-7 2 out of 3 years.
Hey,
Anybody
can I
that thinks
address something?
Sure, go for it.
The rumors in the chat about is Allie gone? Stop with. We are not a show really to address rumors because that's all that is, in my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and address that. So Matt, I'm not going to sit here and address that. I see people commenting it. We're not going to talk about that.
Hey, anytime. Sometimes you can throw darts at the wall, and sometimes it sticks. So, I mean, it could happen, but
could. I don't foresee it happening, but it could.
Hey, Arkansas, they did win.
Arkansas won.
Is that game over? I think it's over now. They beat Texas Tech. So,
yes. Okie says, retired the days of losing his mind when OU lose in football. Shrug my shoulders and say, well, got to play better. Tatum to Tennessee. Okay. Hey, speaking of Tennessee, Squirrel White, and now it sounds like one of their stud cornerbacks, like they're losing a lot of guys. It's
every team does.
Everywhere. Yeah, 6 and 7 is never acceptable. 8 and 4 is not even acceptable. You got to be in the talk. Hey, Matt, we already knew he was in the portal. He entered himself a couple hours ago. Devon Sears, we already talked about that, is entered the portal. And the JUCO rule is what allows him an extra year. So we'll see where he ends up. It's questionable, Forrest, whether John Blake's teams are better. I agree. Hey, when John Blake was coach, there was a lot of personnel issues that you were like pulling your hair out. Like, why is Brandon Daniels playing in this position? What are they trying to do offensively? It's almost the same thing. It's the same thing. So.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. Jeremy, have you heard anything? I've seen people on Twitter talking about this. Where do you think?
I don't. All it was an Instagram post, Jay, where there was nothing on the screen.
What did it say? I didn't see it.
It didn't say anything, I don't think.
Well, explain to me what it was.
A black screen, nothing on it. I take it as the year's over. Blackout, time to relax.
Man, I tell you what, on that 95-yard run, which was a school record, I think, for Navy. You talked about they had some guys out of position on that play, man. It was bad luck.
I don't think RSJ leaves, personally. We ready to open the phone lines?
Hey, ready as we'll ever be, Germ. So We'll see, dude. We'll see
Wait,
what we get tonight.
Caleb said it was an emoji of a guy walking off. I didn't see the emoji part. Well, maybe he's walking because the season's over.
Hey, for anybody that thinks this coaching staff's going to get fired after this game, it's not happening, guys. They were 6-6 before this game. Nobody's getting fired. Okay, it's just not going to happen. So just move on from that. And I know it's going to be a long off season but you know what's going to happen, and I guarantee you this happens. Mark my words. Jerem, mark it down.
I'll mark it.
Get your pen out. There will be a lot of people as more time goes away from this loss, the closer you get to the season, that will have OU at 10-2, 11-1, 12-0. Guys, until I see something on the field, I am not picking a record for this team. I can't because it can't be the first few games. I need to see maybe an SEC game or something.
Jay. They play Michigan week 2.
I don't know, Jerem. I don't know if that'll tell me anything.
Well, I would hope Michigan would, but I don't know if it will either.
I need to see consistency, man. I need consistency.
Hey, we got several callers on the line. Before we get to Platone, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com. Kevin is a great, just great people at the Fan Stop and great products. Check them out. Go to their website, thefanstop.com. Would be a great time as the new year gets here to sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club, and you can use code SURGE and get 10% off January, February, and March if you do that. We got Platone 20.
Hey,
what's up?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, guys. A long time ago, my father taught me an important lesson. He said, your disappointment in life is equal to your expectations minus reality. My expectations for this game are very low because, Arbuckle was not coaching, Tier was not playing. So am I a little disappointed? Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people in the chat seemed to come in with the attitude that we were expected to blow Navy out. I didn't see that coming. I never would have thought that they would blow them out. Anyway, I think that if people my expectations were low, so my disappointment level is there, but I feel like a lot of people in chat just felt like we were supposed to come in and dominate. With what happened this season, there was no way that was going to happen. So that's my first point. There's 2 reasons why I'm not ready to fire Brent Venables, and I know people will probably call me a sunshine pumper or whatever, but we have 2 reasons that I would hold on to him for at least another year. Arbuckle and the Tier. Now, if he had not made those hires, I would say fire him now. But since he made those changes, I'm okay with giving him 1 more year. I think there are reasons to be hopeful about that. Now, I do need to see a significant bump up. If we win less than 9 games, I think we got to fire him. I'm not okay with going 7-5. I don't think that's good enough, especially with the changes that we made. But I worry that, and I want your guys' take on this. What happens if OU goes 7-5? My impression is that the leadership of OU is going to keep him if we're 7-5. I think they're just looking for any improvement at all, and I don't agree with that. But anyway, I'll hang up and let you guys answer.
Hey, Platone, I like what you said on a lot of that. And hey, for the Washington State fan, Hunter dropped the link in there. FanStop does have Washington State official licensed Shirt of the Month Club. You can sign up there, and you can still use code SURGE and get 10% off. Jay, Venables did make, a fire with Seth Luttrell, and I think another one's got to be done in Joe John Finley. But to me, that's I don't know. I don't think Platone ever said he was happy with the season. But I agree with Platone when he said that everyone who got on here today after the game and thought that was shocked by what they saw, I'm confused by. Where have you been all season?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I also see people in here that picked Navy to win, and they're saying, why were we having low expectations against Navy? Well, you picked OU to lose. You were having a low expectation too.
Yeah. Hey, we got Clyde on the line. What's up?
I ain't got a whole lot to say, but when are we going to find out or hold somebody accountable for the talent that we're putting on the field? Because it varies from week to week. It's so inconsistent. How are we ever going to get any rhythm whatsoever if the lineup changes every week?
Hey, Clyde, thanks for the call. I agree with you. And there are certain position groups where it's more baffling. And one of those is tailback. At running back, I don't understand the shuffling of guys. That would be one position I would say. Outside of that, there's some other ones that maybe they should be shuffling, and one of those is offensive line.
Yeah, and every offensive recruit that's coming in next year is licking their chops because they got a chance to start from day one.
That's true. Every single one of them, outside of a quarterback, because it's John Mateer is going to be the guy. Anyone that's saying this is an open competition at quarterback, please, it's not.
It is not.
No chance.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Hey,
Clyde.
thanks, Clyde. And the biggest problem, Jeremy, I have with the running back thing is Clyde's right. You don't know who it's going to be week to week, and like Sawchuk hasn't got hardly any run all year, and then he plays how many snaps today? I mean, 90% of
anyone
the
else
snaps.
at running back.
So it's just weird. Hey, I think we got
Greg on. Coconut.
Greg on the
What's
line,
up, Coconut?
Hey guys, one of the things that's been so frustrating for me, 2 points here, is just the program as a whole has not developed and the players are not progressing and developing. Like today, all our guys look like players that were almost brand new to football. Like they're missing balls that are hitting them in the hands or hitting them in the chest. They look like high school players who are like basketball players or baseball players, and coaches were just like, "Oh yeah, you should give football a try." It's like, how are these players not improving from the start of the season to now? It's so frustrating.
Hey, Greg, I disagree on one guy though that we haven't talked about yet. Ivan Carrion, I think played pretty good today, and he blocked really good at receiver too. I think he should have probably been playing more all year. He looked like he's maybe getting better as a true freshman.
I'd give you that, but I'd say more as a whole. Like there's no needle movers on the team right now. There's no one who you can rely on. There's no Mims out there. There's no CeeDee Lamb. There's no Danny Stutzman on the team right now, and it's just, where are we going to find these guys? Because I don't trust the current coaching staff to bring that out of the guys. And my last point, and also what makes this so frustrating, is you can see glimpses of what this team could really be. Like, what happened at the end of the first quarter to where it just all went away? We couldn't connect on a pass. We couldn't get a stop on third down. It's like, what happens to this team to where there's just an immediate drop off and it becomes pure mediocrity within like a snap of a finger?
I agree with that. Part of it is I don't think the staff at all. One thing we know in 3 years, they don't make adjustments. They come out. You come out 14-0. Your plan is working. Navy adjusts. OU doesn't. Like OU just does not adjust well. The coaching staff does not.
Yeah, and then also I'll get off the phone here. But why does like another 6-6 team like Arkansas come out today and look pretty good? Like they can handle some adversity in a game and be impressive and not let the mental side of football take them captive. But a 6-6 OU comes out and looks so bad against a team like Navy.
Well, I think the difference there is, Greg, I think the difference is they have Bobby Petrino who can scheme an offense. And I think
OU didn't come out looking bad. They came out killing it. And then they can't
make they were great.
Yeah, can't make adjustments at all.
We got to figure that out, or it's mediocre teams or teams below us will continue to outplay us and outcoach us.
Yeah, got to get it fixed, man. Got to get it fixed. Appreciate it, Greg.
Thanks, fellas. See ya.
Hey, and Tone Loke says plays were scripted early. If you go back and look, Germ, and I know he's not going to be calling plays next year, so it doesn't really matter. But Joe John Finley, the first part of games, he could have a few things pretty good. And then when it was time to adjust, you could tell his inexperience as his offensive coordinator. He just couldn't. And that's not on him really, because he's never called plays. I mean, he's never called plays. That's what you're going to get. So
I mean, it's you can't. I cannot sit here on December 27, 2024, and defend anything that the staff has done. I just can't. Do I like BV? Absolutely. Do I want it to work out? Absolutely. But I can't defend what's happened these 3 years, Jay. And then furthermore, today it's 14-0. As someone said in the chat, you have a 4th and 1. A 4th and 1. You get that and go score. It's 21-0. It's 21-0 against Navy. The game's over because they cannot throw the ball. And OU twice on 4th and 1. Just abysmal play calling.
What did you think of Spencer Brown today playing?
I questioned it, Jay, because he's not going to be here next year. So why do it? You know my thoughts on the bowl game. Play the youngins. That's my thoughts.
I agree, Sherm. I'm with you. I didn't understand it. Didn't understand it at all. So
No, I don't care about the. I just said it, RC. Play the young guys. That's why you have a bowl game. In the Armed Forces Bowl, play the young guys. Ask Hunter, ask Jason. I sent him a message during the game and said, I would play every. I even talked to Kevin about this. I would have played every young guy possible.
Danny Okoye, 0 snaps.
0 snaps. How many Autry play?
Who?
Lineman.
Who did you say?
I said Autry. EPL played what? 2 series? Did any other freshman lineman get in, Jay?
I don't think so, Germ. Not that I can recall.
Nope. And maybe had EPL played, there would have been a holding call. No, you would have won the game. It's pathetic. Hey, RC, but don't come at me and say I say that the bowl games matter. No, I didn't. I still don't.
Hey, and Jimmy's asking who had the bust. Well, it looked like Boganowski was running one way, and then I think maybe Kip Lewis got busted at linebacker. I think.
Now Okoye hasn't played all year. With R. Mason Thomas there, I didn't know how much he would play at all. He didn't play any. But Nigel Smith, I don't think anyone expected to play. Did you?
Hey,
Jay?
and I love Ethan Downs, Okie. I really do. If he can I don't think he's going to get drafted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if he could make an undrafted free agent, maybe. I mean, he's a hard worker. He works his butt off. He plays freaking hard. I love Ethan Downs, but it says Okoye played versus Temple, Maine, Germ.
Okay, yeah, I don't recall. I try to block every game out this season. My bad, Hunter.
Hey, and hey, I see some stuff in here. What was it? Let me see if I can find it. It says Canick busted, and that could be possible too. That would not shock me.
Well, Canick followed the running back to the right. I thought Kip was supposed to also move to the right, and Kip didn't move.
And PJ was in on that play too, Chester. He wasn't. He caved on one side.
Boganowski went way to the outside. I thought. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to address the quitter stuff. It's honestly downright pathetic, and I'll say that. I'm not scared to say that. It's pathetic to call someone a quitter on here when obviously that's not what happened. But never thought OU basketball would be better than OU football. Yeah, it's
hey,
there.
Everybody in the chat, if everybody would have said when Lincoln Riley left and they hired Brent Venables that they would have 2 losing seasons and be winless in bowl games, how many of you would think he would have a 4th year?
No, I don't think people would have, Jay. Hey, I'll have to rewatch it, Jay. I don't think it was I do not think that Canick was veering to the outside. I thought Kip was supposed to come over, but I don't even. Again, I'd have to rewatch it. He didn't quit, Danny. Danny and Johnson. I'm just not going to say that. Nothing to that in my opinion. 0, zilch, not a nothing. Okay. If BV is here, whose fault is it? Well, Joe C's in the end. So that's. I mean, if your question is who's deciding to hire or fire BV, that's one guy. It's Joe C. So.
Hey, and Germ, I would love for it to work out for Brent Venables. I would love for them next year to go 9 or 10 wins. But I think you got to ask yourself this, and this is something we've talked about it before. If you think Arbuckle Mateer, which I do, I think the offense is going to be better next year, Germ. I think it's going to be quite a bit better. How many more wins does that get you in this league? That's the question you got to ask. And when I say that with the whole gambit of being a head coach. And you see it all the time, Germ, where coaches will get a new offense coordinator and things will get better. But then they might drop in another aspect of the team. There's just certain times that it's just like you got to have the whole thing working. It's not one piece. So yeah, they may fix Arbuckle, that getting Arbuckle and Mateer, but is that going to equal for this? For instance, this year, is that going to get 3 more wins for you? I think it could offensively, yes. But does that mean the defense is going to slack off? So, I mean, they need to get it all together working, and that comes from one. That comes from the top.
It does. And
Comes
Coach
from the
Craig,
head coach.
I don't know that we'll hear from. I don't think we'll hear from Arbuckle about this game. We got Johnson on the line. What's up, Johnson?
This program has no leadership. I mean, you break it all down. It's like every week we get a participation trophy. Oh, we're going to have 5 new captains every week. We're going to do all this stuff. We're going to hug. We're going to walk across with the 10-yard line. All this. There's no leadership, guys. And 1 year from today, we're going to be saying the same thing. Why didn't we fire him a year ago? And I'm going to tell you something.
I will say this. I'm not saying I love the stuff they do, but I am going to say this. If OU was winning and in the playoff, every Sooner fan, including you, would be loving it.
You know, the greatest word in OU football history is the word if. We always say
it's the
if.
greatest word in all of history.
If.
But admit it, Johnson. Admit it.
I'm going to ask you a question, Jeremy. I want you to answer this question. Why are the two of the top 5 players in college football that's going to go in the draft playing in a bowl game if these bowl games are meaningless? So why are they playing for?
Who are you talking about? Shedeur and Travis?
Shedeur, he's talking about Colorado.
Yeah, why are they playing?
Well, when was the last time they made a bowl game? Maybe they think it's big for them. I'm not going to sit here and
they're playing and
argue about it.
They went and took out insurance policies, Jerm.
I know that. They didn't. The Colorado paid for it, yes.
Same thing you could have done. These players
I
don't care what you
don't
say.
do
I
it.
don't
For
care how
the
you
Armed
slice and
Forces
dice
Bowl,
it,
you don't do
they
that.
Quit on the team. They quit on the team.
Absolutely
they
did
quit
not.
on the team. If you sign up for something and you get NIL money, and then at the end of the season, by the way, I'll take your NIL money, thank you, but I'm not going to play in this bowl game because I got better things to do with my life. I'm going to go play pro football.
They didn't quit on the team, and you know why they didn't play the game?
Did he play today, Jerm? Did he play
maybe
today?
because I was right,
no,
Johnson.
He didn't play today, did he?
No,
they did not quit on the team.
He's a quitter.
Nobody quit on the team, Johnson. Nobody quit.
He put himself.
Please, come on, man. I'm not doing
Did
this.
he take NIL money?
For the season, yes. Not for the bowl game.
Hey, Johnson. Quitting on the team might have been not coming back or in the portal last year. They came back.
That would have been quitting.
Where would they have been without him this year?
That's why they're all doing it. You guys are so silly.
Cool.
They all got paid.
Cool. I'll be silly. He didn't quit on the team.
Yeah, he did. Did he play today, Jerm? No, he didn't play today.
This game was for the young guys. This game was for the young guys. That's what it was. They coached him up.
He quit on him.
Okay, whatever. I'm not going to have this argument. I'm not doing it. So, hey, thanks for calling, though. I appreciate it. Not having an argument on if 2 guys quit when it's the most absurd. First off, this game, in the end, Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman, I'm sure thought, guys, let the young guys play. We're going to be there to support you. Let the young guys play.
Yeah, it's not like they didn't even show up for the game. They were there.
Please. Unbelievable, man. Like, first off, I'm not. Hey, your grammar's pretty delusional, Danny, because it would be YOUR''RE. That's what it would be, Danny. Get the grammar right, okay? I'm not delusional. They did not quit on the team. If anything, you can just say I'm right. The bowl game didn't matter. So there. Maybe that's why they didn't play in it. Man.
Looks like John's back. John Hover's back in the chat.
I'm fired up for no reason.
John Hover's back in the chat, Jerem.
What's up? I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what? I talk every night on here, and I'll keep doing it. Let the young guys play. The fact that Danny Stutzman and Billy Bowman were there, I think says a lot about them. They didn't have to be there.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to sit here and talk about that, though. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and talk about that the whole night.
Let's talk about the things that matter. That's not one of them.
Stutzman and Bowman guys are not back, so they're done. So,
unbelievable. Who we got on here tonight? We got Daniel on here. What's up?
I need to chime in on the whole Stutzman. What Stutzman and Bowman did not quit. And first off, players who are within that locker room don't think guys like that quit. I understand from the outside it may look like that, and I am one of those old school guys that wish players would play, but they did not quit on their team. They are looking for their future. To me, in all honesty, I've talked with this a few guys. The guys we think quit are some of the guys that just hurried up and transferred out. I know they had their own personal reasons. To me, that's quitting. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. To a certain degree, I feel like that's quitting. But the big thing I have to say about the game today, though, is and Jay Jeremy, y'all know I've been on here and I've been one of the most optimistic people that y'all know, whether it be a former player, just a fan in general.
Yep.
But I am starting to get to that point with V where I don't know. I'm at the point where I really don't know, and I've started to do some hindsight. And one of the things that stuck out to me was when V got here, or I can't remember the time frame, when he said that he won't be looking to take guys from Clemson because he coached there, things like that. And why I'm using that as an example is because I'm looking at the difference between us and UT, and I'm seeing the sense of urgency and the ability to make change that Steve Sarkisian has put in UT. And I'm not seeing that with Coach V. I'm seeing bad decisions from coaching, from players. I'm seeing a lack of urgency with the players that you need to get. I'm not seeing things that show that there is a positive future in front of us. And I don't just this game is a microcosm of all the things that I'm seeing that do not look good in terms of prepping for the future. Steve Sarkisian's first 2 years, whatever it was, they weren't great, but they did not look as unpredictable and just uninspiring as this has been. So at this point right now, y'all, I really in V recruited me and I have a soft spot for him, but I really at this point don't know. I really don't.
I think all of Sooner Nation's with you in that. I've come to that point where it just, when you think it can't get worse, they go out there and make the same mistakes over and over again.
It's no development from Emmett Jones. Like I say, it makes no sense. Where I look across the country, I see Ryan Williams, I see Jeremiah Smith, I see Bryant Westlaco, who we almost got, and I see these guys making these amazing big plays. And then I go watch us play. We're dropping wide open passes on defense. We're missing assignments. Where is the development? I was telling my wife, DeMarco was a great running back, but I told her this is coming from just being a player. Oftentimes, great running backs, great players, it is rare, but sometimes they don't make good development of a players because they're seeing it through a lens of how they were. And I don't know if that's what DeMarco's doing right now, but even from a running back standpoint, it's mind-boggling to me, the just lack of development, preparation, urgency for the future that I'm seeing, and it's frustrating, especially as a former player. So sorry to go on a tangent here, but just the quitting and just what I saw today, I couldn't even watch football. I haven't watched football the rest of the night. They had me so disgusted today. I didn't watch any of the bowl games the rest of the night.
Hey,
yeah, it's frustrating, Daniel.
I want to say appreciate that from you, who you told us exactly what you thought, and then you're brutally honest here. I appreciate that. Thanks for calling in and giving us that.
You're welcome, guys.
I appreciate it, Daniel.
Hey,
real quick, Jeremy. I want to. Preston says, "I know this dude ain't comparing our guys to elite 5 stars." Preston, what he's saying is, how come OU's not getting those guys? Is what he was saying. He's not comparing them.
But it's not even that, Jake. The guys that OU trotted out there were, and I think Coconut Greg said it, that they don't look like they're ready, like they're dropping balls. It's bad. And
well, I thought Carry On looked pretty good.
Great coach. I think EJ's a good recruiter as far as coaching and development. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Nick Anderson got better. I think that Jaden Gibson was making strides, but the guys this year, I don't know. They dropped a lot of balls today, 7 of them to be exact.
Yeah, and Oki was asking who that was. That was Daniel Brooks, played in 2000 to 2015 there. So, and BV was part of recruiting him. So, yeah. Okay, and here's the thing, and I agree. Hey, Preston, I agree they're not going to pay that kind of money, maybe. And I agree, you can win without having those stud receivers. You can with a good offensive scheme. They haven't had that. We'll see if I think Arbuckle is scheming a lot better. But let's not forget, I mean, I know you got CeeDee Lamb, but they didn't always have great, but they always had really good receivers. And right now, I mean, I think Kerryon, guys, I think Kerryon made a jump this year. I just don't think he played enough. I think he would be but there's some guys out there that I'm wondering next year, okay, who's it going to be, Germ? I know Burks and Gibson. Can Burks?
Both Gibsons. Burks, Gibson, and Gibson.
That's right, but I got to see it on the field is all I'm saying. I know they have some guys that can play the position with a good offensive scheme. I am not saying that at all. They can. But
hey, Matt.
I do also think it is the University of Oklahoma, and I would love – and Tatum was a 5-star for the most part, right? True freshman this year, 5-star.
Correct.
So maybe he pans out and is really good. We'll see.
Hey, the scheme that Arbuckle ran at Washington State does look pretty good for quarterbacks because their guy today was doing pretty good.
He makes it easy for quarterbacks. Arbuckle does.
Yeah. Eric says he won't scheme anything up there, 8-4. Hey, by the way, I told everyone this, true, that Jay, the bowl game is not going to change anything. And I was right. It's not going to change. No one's getting fired. I was right on that. And Matt, that's an absolute horrible take. To act like, are you saying this bowl game is his legacy? Come on, man. Like that is so bad. That may be worse than a bad take because OU played today. Like that's bad in my opinion. Hey, and I know Danny was talking about, I saw Danny in the chat. I don't know if you're talking about people in the chat or me, but let's not talk about people's education. If you want to talk about me not having a degree, you're absolutely wrong. And I really don't care about degrees on here. This is a show for the fans, by the fans, to talk about football.
Hey, real quick, I see Mr. B's comment, and here's the thing. This channel is a fan channel. Guys, not every channel lets fans call in, put every comment up here as long as it's clean. That's probably why we have people in here that you're asking about, Mr. B. I'm just saying, it's a fan. You're going to have, when OU is 6-7, there's going to be a lot of negativity, okay? Now, what can be better next year to make this team win 9 games? Well, offensive line has to be better. Wide receiver has to be better. I think quarterback will be better. Defensive backfield has to be better. Now, I have to see it to believe it, Germ. That's all I'm saying. I can't. I don't know what they're going to do next year. Can these receivers be better next year? Preston's talking about last year. They were really good. They were good last year when they had the guys healthy. Will they be better next year? We'll see. I think they got some guys on the pool that can play. I don't know how. I mean, I think with Arbuckle's offense, they can be good and put up numbers. They don't have anybody that's a 5-star, like you said. No.
Can Kobe be the middle linebacker? I see some people saying they need to go get a guy in the portal. I think Kobe can be it. I'm not going to keep responding. And I did talk about grammar because I'm an English teacher. I was an English teacher. So, yeah, I do care about grammar. And actually, it changed the whole meaning of the statement. So when you don't use the correct grammar, it changes the whole meaning of the statement. FYI. Thought I'd get that out there, too. Yeah, and let's not talk about mental health or mental illness or anything like that in the chat, guys. Look, you can be mad about OU football, but when it starts getting personal, it's done. And Hunter, if you see those in there, be kind to just.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't see a mental thing, so I must have missed it. I apologize if I read something.
It's hard for us to see all of them. Even Hunter, yeah. It's hard for him to see them all. But look, I hate the phrase "it is what it is" because that's a cop-out. It's bad. That's what it is. It's bad. Right now, it's bad. What's going to happen between December 27th and February even? That's what I want to know, Jay. What's going to happen? Joe John Finley in or out? DeMarco Murray in or out?
In.
How many guys are they losing in the portal that are meaningful? All those are the 3 things, and then who else are they bringing in from the portal? That's it. Those 4 things. I think that's the 4 things I'm looking for, Jay. Did I lose Jay? I may have lost him. Yeah, RC,
I'm back. Can you hear me?
I'm not here to make excuses. I'm here to just tell it like it is because the Sooner Surge is a podcast that tells it like it is. I would expect, I've said this. Jay, you disagree with me. Jay, you think Joe Jon Finley's staying. I think he'll be out. We'll see what happens. Barnes was hurt. Barnes was
Can
not
you
gonna
hear
play
me?
today.
Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, I asked you earlier, and I'll ask Preston the same thing. I just, to me, Brent Venables, if they're going to get rid of him, and they didn't already do it.
It is weird that they haven't done it yet. I agree. Hey, NIL Killed Wazoo says, if you guys get rid of Arbuckle, can we have him back? I'm guessing he loved Arbuckle, and I'm hoping Arbuckle and Mateer can be difference makers and just flip the script for the Sooners. We have Chester here. Usually Chester's going to open the night. Tonight he's on the back end of the live, but guess what? He's here, so that's what matters.
Hey, I just want to ask. I swore I saw something that OU football made $400 million last year. Is that true?
I'm
Just
not
the
sure
football
what
team, the football program. So they can make 400. They can generate $400 million of income, but they can't pay BV off. I don't understand any of this.
Yeah, they didn't choose to do it. I mean, obviously, I think they could. They didn't choose to do it.
I mean, all right. So a lot of these guys there in chat are Bob Stoops era kids growing up watching OU football, and they had a great time. Okay. In the 80s, you know, you're as old as I am. You remember Switzer gets ousted. We have a 2-year probation. Okay. That was very limited scholarships. It wasn't as bad as the death penalty, but it was bad. I think it was what, 15 scholarships a year for 2 or 3 years.
It was below the
right?
death penalty, but yeah.
Okay. And Gibbs did well. Yeah, his last year he failed. I don't know if people noticed, but Sooner fans graffitied, vandalized, and tried to burn his house down. Okay.
I remember that.
All right. That's what they did to Gibbs.
He was 9-3 every year.
He was a lot better than BV has been, especially in his first 3 years. What was it? I think he went 7-4, 8-3, 8-3.
The difference is, don't you think, Chester? People felt like Gibbs was kind of an outsider, and everyone thinks BV's the insider because he's.
How on earth could people think Gibbs was an outsider when he was the DC for a long time and is one of the greatest linebacker coaches that we ever had?
I agree he was, but they didn't think that because he wasn't Switzer.
Hey, here's the difference. Here's the difference. Hey, here's the difference in my opinion.
Yeah, go ahead.
OU got dumped by Lincoln Riley.
That's the whole deal.
And BV came in. And they felt like BV was coming back to OU because Lincoln Riley dumped him.
That's correct.
Yeah, and that was all cool and all, but you had a Lanning, you had a Rule you could have went after. Rule has proven to rebuild programs. I haven't seen it yet with Nebraska, but he's proven in the past to rebuild dead programs. So that should have probably been priority 1, right? Rule. But anyways, what was I going to get at? I forget. Oh,
hey, let me ask you this.
I'm not one of these bring back Cale Gundy guys, even though I love Gundy. What he did, he'll never be allowed to come back. You and I both know that.
He won't
be. But
fortunately, I wish he would.
He was a QB. He was a QB, and he never coached QBs the whole time he was at OU. He's coached inside receiver, outside receiver, running backs, all kinds of positions, and he did well at every single one of them. So how can I think it was Brooks that was talking about Murray? How can Murray, who was a great running back, and he was a great running back, okay? How can he not be able to coach running back?
Yeah, I can't explain it. Sometimes those who played really well were not great coaches, and he may very well be one of those.
But I'm serious. I really hope you go back. Like I said, I went as far back as 2018 on Beat and Bo's recruiting, and it's been terrible.
But the last 2 years has been his best, correct?
Yeah, that's just rated on recruiting.
Well, they've been rated really good.
We've had Bray Walkers and Savion Birds, and we couldn't even play them on the field. But we'll play this Favetti guy who was an absolute terror. And not only him, they had Tarquin out there today.
Oh, Tarquin was getting all the snaps. Correct.
I mean, the guy's lost his mind. He needs to go.
Well, they're
If
not
these,
going.
It's
if
not
these last
happening.
two, look, if these two classes that are so great from him don't show out next year, when are y'all going to come around that he's a bust? The game's passed him by.
Well, we'll find out. That's for sure. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere before next year. So
Was it a good
I think
season
we'll
at
find.
all? It was abysmal.
And one more thing I want to get at. If Allie does leave, why do they not just promote Bates?
They probably would this late.
It's time for Bates to be a
Allie's not
DC.
leaving. Allie's not leaving.
Yeah, I think he is.
I don't think there's a chance he's leaving myself. But Chester, thanks for
Thank
closing
you.
it up tonight. And hey, Chester, one question before you leave. You still on?
I think he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Jay, I was
Hey,
just curious. If BV had followed, if Bob Stoops had given BV the keys to the car, and these 3 seasons happened, he would have been fired. You're right, Jay. It's the fact that he followed Lincoln Riley.
Well, and let me clear something up. I saw Sooner Cowboys say, "Stop blaming Lincoln." I'm not blaming Lincoln.
No, you're
I'm
not
just
blaming-
saying, as a fan, the fans had an opinion of Lincoln when he left, and when BV came back, they all thought, "Oh, thank you, BV. Lincoln left us." That's all I'm
Hey,
saying.
I'm curious, Jay, because you've been high on Kobe a lot more than me, and I've been higher on Kanak. Why does Kobe not get the bashing that Kanak gets? Because Kobe, someone said he only had 14 tackles all year.
Well, I think you see more when Kanak played, Jerm. You saw more just total bust, probably. And I think
I disagree.
and
Now, one thing Kanak does is
Kanak
goes all
was built
out.
up to be. Kanak had a very high ceiling, Jerm, when he came.
Kanak
Very
barely
high.
played this year, though. He'll play 2 plays and get ripped. Other guys play all the time and don't do things, and no one rips him. It's just kind of funny, I think. That's all.
Hey, Kenneth, Kenneth, real quick, Kenneth. So you're saying now that the way football's changed as a fans, we just need to sit back and enjoy it. Is that what you're? Hey, Jerm, let's get a little cup of coffee, sit in our rocking chair. Let's just enjoy that OU's not playing well. I guess is what they're saying. I'm confused.
Kobe, by the way, Kobe had 30 tackles, not 14, Robert. And look, I'm not here to sit here and say Kanak is the starter. I'm not, but I'll stop at that, Jen. It's getting late on here.
Hey,
Matt,
real quick, let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. It's going to be on this channel probably over the next quite a while. It's going to be pretty negative because they have 2 losing seasons out of the first 3 years at BV. They got a lot of work to do this offseason if they want to get to where they need to be. And BV, to me, it's on Brent Venables. It has been the whole time. He's got to get them to where they're supposed to be, and that's 9 wins. If he doesn't, we've already said it, Jerm. 2 out of 3 years with a losing record is very, very. It's so weak for Oklahoma to be 6-7. I got SEC fans in my ear every single day saying, "Aren't you glad you came to the SEC? What happened to Oklahoma? How'd they lose to Navy?" It's not a good look. You got to get it turned around ASAP.
Hey, and I'm going to say this, Oklahoma. We'll talk basketball every night if we need. I mean, we call whatever the chat's talking about football. Rules, and we're going to keep talking football. And Jay, I'd kind of like to move into something as we go tomorrow night, which is Saturday. Is look, I don't think change is going to happen much. So, what are some solutions with what they have? That's kind of where you got to go.
That's right.
Next. That's what I want to move to next. But hey, I will say this. Thank you to everyone that's been in the chat. Thank you to everyone that's hit the like. Thank you to everyone that's kept it honest. And again, negativity is fine when it's deserved, and it is a lot of things. Now, it is in a lot of ways here at OU right now. But I appreciate you guys that kept it clean, that had good conversation in the chat. You guys that called in, we appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like before you leave. We will be back on tomorrow night. Why? Because we do this every single night, 9:30. Be here with us. We'll talk all kinds of things as we move forward. 2024 season is in the books, 6-7 for the Sooners. Loads of work needed, as Sooner UK official says. Loads of work needed. but nothing suggests Beebe is the man. We'll leave it at that. Till tomorrow night.